Okay, we all want to, we call the meeting to order, and we want to rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
Where is the flag?
Is he recording?
Where is it?
Yes.
Over there. No, it's in the little.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We can have the roll call, please.
Sandra Cavazos Ayala.
Present.
Mary Paz. Present. Roberto Ortiz.
Present.
Maribel Valdez Rodriguez. Present. Angelica Salinas. Present. Rosa Maria C. de Llano.
Present.
Jose Obando.
Here, Ryan.
Arlita Epstein.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, then. I guess we'll go on to the citizens' comments. No citizens' comments at this time? Okay, we can go ahead and look at the minutes then, item number 5 from the last meeting on May 23rd, and review them and for approval. And non-approval. Anybody with any corrections, or should we take the minutes as is?
I have a couple, I think they're just typos or, past tense, like left they got Ms. Solis announced at the committee that Ms. Carmelita and Nisa combined and left an envelope addressed, I believe, right?
Yes.
To the Laredo Public Library. Ms. Solis read the letter to left an envelope instead of an envelope. And then Ms. Alanis thanked everyone on her behalf. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, further down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the bottom, entering requisitions without the A, or else saying entering a requisition.
Okay, yes, entering
Requisitions.
Requisitions, I guess, yes.
Right. With those corrections, I move that we approve the minutes.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. So we'll take the minutes with the corrections. Okay, any communications and announcements? Item number 6.
Yes, I'd like to introduce Ms. Maribel Valdez Rodriguez, our new appointee for Councilman Torres, District 4. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome very much. Welcome. Glad to have you.
And y'all can call me Mimi. Everybody knows Mimi. Okay.
Okay.
We'll put it in parentheses, Mimi.
L-I-S-E.
Yes, we work in the same building.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And you work in the communications.
Communications, correct.
Yeah, so that's awesome, very good.
Thank you. Also, in your packet is a copy of the ordinance, 2018-0050, and that's the ordinance that amended the the current ordinance for commissions, councils, boards, etc. And I'd like to call your attention to section 2-153. And that's where the new requirement that the committees meet at least once a month is. And then section 2-155, and that is the recording and live streamings, letter A. That's where the new requirement of recording it. And then the third thing I'd like to call attention is 2-157, which is automatic forfeiture. And the first sentence there says that committee members shall automatically forfeit their appointed position for failure to attend 3 meetings in 1 calendar year. Our bylaw said the FY, which is October to September. So that's gonna have to change, but, because this is an ordinance, so it's attendance from January to December.
Fiscal year. Okay, so.
Instead of our fiscal year, which is October to September.
January to December, so right now this starts effective this past January
Mhm.
to this December.
To this December.
And we can be absent 3 times?
3 times. And I know we vote excuse, unexcused, but
It doesn't matter whether.
it doesn't matter, and whether it's consecutive or not. Before, I believe that the ordinance said 3 consecutive meetings, and now it's just the
We need it 3
ordinance.
times.
Mhm.
After 3 times, then we're no longer appointed.
Mhm. You forfeit your
Good,
position.
that's good. It gives us a little bit of
Well,
leeway, yeah.
This committee has never had a problem getting a quorum. I mean,
Yeah, but
It's been-
still, I mean, we work so hard to be present and all that, so if we can't because of,
Mhm, at least you have
at least
those
we
3.
know that we can be out those 3 times without being kicked out. Okay, good.
So the meetings under section 2-154, location of meetings is here. It says if possible.
If possible, and I'd like to qualify that. We have asked PAC to give us a list of the equipment, and we're in the process of purchasing, so we can go back to the library. So that we have all this set up there too.
Okay, so
good
that would
news.
be
I know,
great.
but we're working towards
Good
it.
news.
Yeah, if we could get it back to the library, that would help, just because I think it's more centralized and it's easier for everybody to get there. More parking.
Yeah, and the traffic downtown isn't the best. That's just me.
No, I agree.
Didn't know like coming down here at 5.
Okay, so we're looking into the equipment.
Yes, we've got the list. I believe we already have the purchase order.
Yeah, we do.
And so as soon as it comes in, PAC is gonna come and install it, and they're already trying to train us on it.
Oh, okay, good. So can you give us an update on that at the next meeting?
Yes, definitely.
Perfect, that would be,
Definitely.
that we will know when we can start going over there.
Yes. We're gonna try for July
Okay.
meeting, so.
Oh, good. Thank you. That's
Thank
fast.
you. All right. Let's look at it. That's the agenda. Well, here it is. Okay, staff reports.
So, letter A is the discussion and possible action on the semi-annual committee report to the mayor and city council. As you know, twice a year, we do have to present a report, mostly of attendance of each of the committees, and that's in your packet. We currently have, this is the letter, and Angie has the original one for Mr. Ortiz to sign. We've included, as we always do, and we're gonna have to get your contact information, because we give them, we should get it faxed in, but we can get it right now. But this is a report that we're gonna submit. We still don't have everything there, and of course, we're gonna change the format a little bit so that if you got appointed in the middle, that means, like Ms. Valdez Rodriguez Mini, she'll be one of one, because she was appointed for 1 meeting during this 6 months. And I know that at times you want to know which meetings you missed. That's the 3rd page. And we're gonna have this format for you guys, so that you'll know that which meetings you missed and which ones you were absent.
I have a question, and I think, I don't know how long this has been going on, but we still, the first paragraph, you put that one committee member appointment is pending for Councilman Vidal Rodriguez. How long is that gonna go, or do we have any? I mean,
We've asked, can we remind him, or no, that is, he gets the Friday packet. Every time I send in a Friday packet, I report attendance and vacancies.
He doesn't have a limit, a time limit, or is there any policy that for the city councilmen that they have a time limit?
No.
I'm just,
As far as
and the
I'm-
only reason is because District 2 is not being represented.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, we
And
had
that's my
repre-
concern.
Right, we had representation with Dora Flores.
Mhm.
Because I went and, when the other person was district, I called him and
It's
I said.
Rangel.
Rangel, Esteban Rangel. And I suggested Dora Flores, a teacher from Cigarroa High School, and he said yes, and she accepted, and she was, however, she needed to leave because of personal, you know.
But we don't have a person.
So, no, we had one till, what was it, a year ago?
Well, she was the last one.
She was the last
But it-
one.
yeah, it's been a while.
It's been over a year for sure.
I'm just
Right.
concerned that District 2
Right.
is not being represented,
Right.
and it just, concerns.
Right,
that's-
right.
that's
And
my
there's a
only-
lot of people that,
Okay,
you know,
there
District
were-
2, I know a lot of teachers from South Laredo, because I taught at Cigarroa for 24 years.
I'm just wondering, do they have a time limit?
To my knowledge, no.
So,
Most, when they get elected, they try to fill in,
Do they have to?
yours was vacant for one meeting, I think.
so who oversees this that we can contact or find out? about?
Well, and we have done that, if you
The
recall, Ms.
secretary?
Alanis, no, Ms.
City
Alanis did
secretary.
contact him,
Okay.
but.
No, but not him
Yes.
directly, I'm talking about somebody that oversees that.
Oh, we contacted the city secretary
secretary.
and we said, can we go ahead and call him ourselves? No, it's in the Friday packet, it stated that his district is vacant and that's.
Wow.
And if I remember correct, I had given him, Carmelita, other names.
Mhm.
And then she said, but no, he doesn't want you to give name, he'll choose one himself. But, I mean, there are a lot of teachers, Cigarroa, United South, now LBJ.
And they don't
And-
necessarily have to live
They don't-
within the
Right,
district.
right, but,
Yeah.
you know, representing that area.
That's
is-
an item of concern, or how can we put that as an item of, that we?
It could, I think
For how
it could be as an
long?
item of concern, just, that we are concerned that we want District 2 to be represented equally, just like every other district, and it's been with an item of concern, and how long that it's been vacant. Because, a lot of stuff keeps going on, and we meet every month, and,
And nobody's talking about that in that district.
and the public libraries are one of the areas that people see actually in action on a
Right.
daily basis, especially now during the summer.
And his boss is there in his district, so.
Yes.
Who's his boss?
No, Moss.
Oh,
the
I thought you said
library.
his boss.
I don't know what the boss-
Okay.
It's one of the larger ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
It's
that's
very
more
huge.
reason.
So much went into
So
it.
we could have somebody from this, I think, you know?
Okay. We'll put that in item for next time.
Next meeting?
Next meeting. And then I guess, do we contact the city secretary? Like, do I, or how does that work? Just as a
I
concern?
can suggest maybe writing a letter from the committee to be put in his Friday packet.
Okay.
I mean, that's,
Well, we could do that. All right.
and we'll leave it for next time and then you can take action on
Okay.
doing it.
We'll do. Just something really straightforward and
Mhm.
not, we would like, this vacancy
To be
to
done.
be filled. Okay.
There's one typo on the letter. The committee received a copy of the
Ah.
ordinance or copies of,
See.
Oh, one or the other.
yeah,
See.
a copy of the ordinance, I believe. And also, let's see, on the last, as always, a public, okay, that we received a copy. The committee also held a recognition ceremony for Ms. Alanis, who resigned as appointee. Can we add the date that the ceremony was held on such and such a date?
Yeah.
Or ceremony on whatever, on the date? I think it would be important to note the date. What do y'all think?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
On such and such a date. Just so be a little bit more specific.
And we'll have we'll get a fine, we have until the 15th of July to turn in the report. And then we'll include today's attendance and,
Any other notes or corrections or anything included with the letter? Any observations on that? No? No others? Okay, then, item B, election of your library advisory committee officers.
I put it on the agenda, we had said we were gonna put it, I don't know if you're ready, but if
We're all
you
here.
wanna wait for another appointee or,
No, we could be waiting
No.
forever.
okay, so I think we could be waiting forever.
No, I think we're okay to, I mean, everybody who's appointed is here,
Yeah.
so I think it would be all right, and that's been vacant for
Yeah, for a while.
a while.
Mhm. So you need to, nominees for chair, vice chair, and secretary.
Okay, and you open the floor to nominations for secretary? Start with that, or how? The secretary? Any nominations?
Sandra, you're outstanding. You said, all. I think you'd be
We
a
have
great one.
secretary, chair, and vice chair, correct? Okay.
Right now, we have people holding which positions?
Vice chair and secretary, Manny is the secretary right now.
Melly is secretary.
And Bob is
Vice
chair.
It was vice.
Interim chair, I guess.
Yes, he was the vice
So we
chair.
already.
I was the vice chair.
You're vice chair.
Well,
As
no,
of
we
right
don't-
now.
We don't have a vice chair right now.
Oh,
Right.
you're a secretary.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Bob was the vice chair.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
I thought it was a new.
First, any
It was-
volunteers?
I'd like to nominate, well, can we redo the
Yes, yes,
position?
let's-
I would like to nominate Robert Ortiz to continue as chair
Yes.
Yes.
for our committee.
I second that.
He
Yes,
seconded it?
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
thank you.
Of course.
We have
Do you
a
accept?
motion and a
Well,
second, I
we do
guess.
the slate
Well,
of officers.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, let's.
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Ms. Cavazos nominated.
Mr. Robert Ortiz to continue, or to stay as chairman for the committee.
Thank you.
Now we need a vice chair.
Vice chair?
Any volunteers?
That means that when Robert doesn't show up,
Yeah.
that person does.
That person is.
Takes over the meeting.
If you all, I can do it.
I would like, yes, I'd like to nominate.
I second the nomination.
No, because
Oh.
it was, he was the vice chair, and then when Carmelita, he became the chair, so we had that vacant
Oh,
position.
okay, we'll see.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, can I make another nomination?
Mhm.
I nominate Melly to remain as secretary for our committee.
Yes, of course. Oh, and you accept. You accept. Okay. Now, you need to make a motion to accept the slate.
Will I make a motion to accept the slate as recommended?
There's a motion to accept the nominees as said here. It's second?
I second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. It carries. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good job, well done.
We shall strive to continue to do the best that we can.
Absolutely.
Make this committee the best committee.
Yes. Absolutely. And again, thank you guys all for being here in attendance now. And it's summer and everything. I'm on vacation, so I'm totally disconnected right now. I disconnect. I only get so much time and I'm disconnected. So I really appreciate everybody being here. And I'm sure everybody else feels the same way. Okay, so on to item letter C, library directors, branch visits and reports.
That's also in your packet. I'd like to show you one of the things that we completed, the PSA for
PSA
for
family.
past.
Oh,
It's a 30-second
Yes. I think it took us a whole year.
Programs here at the Baskin Library explore the world at the touch of a button using our computers. Start an adventure by turning the page on one of our thousands of books. Check out our movie collection, break out the popcorn, and have your own family movie night. More than just books, join us at the Barbara Baskin Library. We've got something for everyone.
That's good.
It's
Good job.
short, sweet, and to the point.
Is that just for that one library, or are we gonna have one
Yes.
per library?
No, this was requested by the board, the committee for Faskin. If you recall, it was specifically to advertise the Saturday hours,
Right.
but it turned into this. And I believe it was mostly the script that you all worked on that one time.
And because there was, yeah.
Do you agree? I agree.
Well, I think maybe we should do it for the whole the libraries of Laredo, not,
Do
you
you
know.
recommend it to the council members?
Just because they're identifiable in that area, so people will know.
I recommend we start with District 2.
Yes. Well, they're gonna call them and they'll say,
Just an FYI.
yeah.
I think that's suggested.
I'll talk to them. Maybe he'll move
didn't
it.
say that.
Somebody has somebody
Just
can be there as well.
Yes.
Okay, so PSA for all branches, and who made that motion?
See?
I motion- well, I motioned it.
I
Who did? You did.
I can move it, I can move that, I can make that motion, because I really like, I think a lot of our population watches TV instead of reading the newspaper, unfortunately, you know? So I think watching TV, we can have, you know, and I would suggest some in Spanish.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna
In the
say that
Spanish, in the
bilingual.
Spanish,
Yeah.
Telemundo and Univision
Yeah, in
and
English
those,
and
because the libraries are such a rich, you know, treasure for our city. And some are, you know, used, but some, like the Faskin, was not utilized for Saturdays. This was the purpose of that PA.
So then
You
the
know?
motion is to
It's-
have a PSA done for
For
each of the
each.
libraries,
Right,
and
right.
bilingual, the districts.
Yes, yes.
Is that correct?
Well,
And with,
bilingual-
and beginning with District 2?
Yes, I agree.
Well, whichever pack can work.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it gonna be televised through public access?
It's
or
public
through-
access, it's also on, it's a YouTube, it's on the YouTube
Oh,
channel.
so it's not
It's
on
on
the
the-
station.
I got it out of the
They
city.
share the YouTube on your
Yes, but
spread out.
it can also be on regular KGNS because they have, what is it called? Those
Their
spots?
PSA.
PSA,
You would need to
PSA.
take it to
And
them.
then we can take it to them.
We already have to buy
Oh, that's-
No, we do not have to buy airtime.
No, you take
because
it to them.
You're at their
The-
disposal.
Right. Whenever they
No,
want.
no, but the TV stations, and if you're on TV, my son is a TV producer or whatever, movie TV. They are to give time, they give PSA.
Yeah, they're running.
Yes, like the
Right.
church Jamaicas and stuff,
Free spots.
they don't pay money, the church Jamaicas.
Yeah, we don't pay
to come
you
up.
guys.
And so I suggest that we also take them to the commercial radio stations, because many of our citizens do not watch, you know, the city or YouTube or whatever. Many of our mothers watch telenovelas. I suggest, you know, that spot, that telenovela spot, to take the children.
Is it formatted for Facebook and?
It was put on Facebook, on
On
the city's
the city
Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
And it's coming out on the public access channel.
Sí, sí.
See,
But a lot of mothers do not watch the public access channel, you know, but they do watch telenovelas. So I suggest,
Let me ask you, how
that
many
we.
social media accounts, or which ones does the city have? Do they have several? I mean, you mentioned Facebook. Is there a
Twitter.
Twitter account? Is there, and who
WhatsApp.
inputs into that?
Each of the individual departments, but there's one that the PIO, the city PIO does for the entire city.
Okay.
But we post on our events.
This would be something that I guess, and I'm just spitballing here, you could link up through any one of those areas, correct? Facebook, and that way it could come out. Because I know that we talk about our mothers, but really, you know,
Our
our youth. They're into that. They're not, and we should do
Yeah,
that.
they're not into.
But we should also do this. I
I'm
think we should
thinking
do
of
both.
nurse for the little ones, you know, of course,
Definitely.
of course the
Yeah,
youth,
just
yes.
put it all
I was a high school
Okay,
teacher all my life,
so
you
then,
know, yes.
we'll amend,
we
will
as
we amend the
librarians,
motion, or how does that work?
I'll make a
The-
motion,
We,
yes.
where's the motion?
I'll make the motion that the spots be taken to not only the public access TV, but the local
Social media.
channels and local channels and
Social
social media. All media possible,
Invaluable.
yeah, well, yes, all the media possible.
Okay.
I
So
second
we
the
have a
motion.
Yes, and I'm
Second.
telling him because I think
All
you're
those
the
in
one
favor?
with Jerry Allen.
Aye.
Right, yes.
Okay. very
My
That's a good
student.
idea. You see, you
That's
turned out so
upward
well, now we're doing it.
good.
That's good. I think that's also just good
See.
PR for the city in that respect to
Right,
see. 'Cause
yeah,
there's a lot of brick and
definitely.
mortar that are invested in the library, so.
No,
it's,
I'm so
it's a lot of
proud of
stuff.
our libraries. I
Yes, they're
am.
good.
I am.
They're very good.
I am so proud to be part of this board because I really, even though I go to the library, I didn't realize we had so much for the
Yes.
public. Now that I went to the last thing, what was it?
That we place
The
library,
family, I was.
and that's on YouTube too.
That's wonderful. And so we have so much, let's share it, because a lot of our people do not know,
No,
and
they-
they're not taking advantage of it. And we should, my take.
Okay, any other,
Of course,
branch
the
visits?
branch visit, but also in your packet is a copy of the draft checklist.
Yes.
If you, doesn't have to be today, but if you can think of anything else that, I've shared it with my staff and they gave me their input also on it.
So this is what you're gonna use, Maria, this is
For
what
now, I'm
you'll be
still gonna
using?
give you the
The
list
writ-
until I
the
can
verbal.
incorporate.
I mean,
There's really nothing out that there's, okay, when you walk into a library, this, and this has to be there. But there is some city requirements where we have to have that cash handling policy posted, emergency numbers by the telephone, that's a requirement by risk. HR posters required, and that's required by HR for us to, so there's some things that do need to be posted. But as far as for libraries, there's nothing that, hey, this has to be there.
Like, is there, like, on the city requirements also, like, the fire inspection doesn't have to be posted somewhere
Mhm,
visible?
it's there.
Because I know
It's
we
in-
have to post it, so, okay.
Is that one of the things on the list?
We can,
can add it on
Yeah,
there.
fire requirement, what is it called?
The- it's like
Inspection.
The fire
Inspection.
inspection, that the building's been inspected and it's up to date, it's up to code and in compliance, because I know that's what we are with our schools.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they go around doing, unless we request it, so we can.
Really?
Well, they'll surprise you.
Yeah, because
You'd
they've
be
come up on
surprised.
campus like, oh,
No,
really?
I don't know, I guess they need the city.
Well, they shouldn't.
Okay. Only because people will ask. Because I know I get asked, I get asked by parents, especially now with our safety protocols. We get asked all the time, well, yeah, we've conducted our drills, here it is, this is the date, the time, this is what we did. Because that's important. And I'm thinking, now more than ever, because I know schools have been targeted, right?
Yes, because of what's happening.
But I would say that, is there some, and I know UISD, I don't know what's happening in other areas, but we're going into a big safety protocol this coming year because of so many things that are happening, and so close to home, here in Texas even. So is there anything, and that could be an item for next agenda, that our city's looking at for places like our libraries?
It's a public, yeah.
It's a public place with a lot of people, especially in the summer or on holidays and stuff. And what is our protocols there? Do we have some sort of drills in place that if something happens, people go to certain areas? Just general things like that.
We've had them as a library, we have safety meetings, we try to once a month, during the summer, not so much, but we just had one on an active shooter. And we've had, there's webinars, we've attended sessions at TLA, they had one. And Rick, our safety officer, he's our safety representative in the committee, he presented to us and showed us several scenarios.
Is that something maybe you can share with us next time, just so we can kind of be up to date on what they are? Because I'm sure it's a concern now, especially more than ever, because we're having to really go throw a whole thing with that in UISD now because
Yeah,
of it.
and is that coming from the city, May, or is it something that you're doing as a?
We did.
At
we saw
each
it.
library, at each library?
No, we had a safety meeting and we had the presentation for all of them.
But for the librarians,
Mhm.
but we don't have a protocol per se per library facility.
No, every library is
That's what you're
different.
saying.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
each
no, every
facility-
library is different, I mean, but the protocol is, you run, you hide, and then you try to prevent the shooting. But the protocol is you run.
Because we don't have security guards, right?
We have at Moss and at the main, we have a
Okay,
security.
well, okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's good.
That's another question.
Yeah.
Like, do we have security at
We
at
do
the
at the
library?
two big branches, we do.
Only at the main
And the
the
mosque.
Because that would be something that I would include on this checklist and say, okay, is there, especially the ones that are present, that have one, is there a presence? Because that's a big thing with me at my campus. It's like, okay, you're here, but are you visible? I need people need to know that you're here, see your squad car, so that they have that in
There's
mind.
no squad
a-
car, this
somebody-
is,
Well, not for you
yeah.
guys, but at least a
Mhm.
presence. Like when you walk into a bank, you walk into a bank, security guard should be very visible right there.
And he has a desk as soon as you walk in. But he has to patrol, he needs to.
Yeah, I've
Correct.
seen them at the desk when we go to our.
Yeah, I've seen it at the main
Always
branch,
at
you
the
walk in,
desk.
is there at the left.
Yeah.
And
Which is
at the
good.
Moss, it's a smaller branch, she or he is usually standing in the entrance, and as you walk in, he greets you, because when we do our visits, she greets us, how are you? So she's visible as they walk in, but she also makes the rounds.
And walking outside as
Mhm.
well and walking around.
But they're from
Ivy.
Ivy, it's the
Security.
company that the city uses for private security.
Okay.
It's private.
The Bruni branch does not have.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
The smaller ones.
The smaller, I mean, I can't justify the.
Only because, it's happened in movie theaters, it's happened in restaurants, and
And there's
I'm
no
kind of shocked it
safety.
hasn't happened in a public library yet, really, to be honest with you.
Well,
Thank God, but,
Yeah, it's,
they are one.
my take on that is so sad that we have to be talking about
I know.
this. It's a sign of the times, I know.
Well, yeah, we
But
didn't
it
even
is
have
very
security
sad
guards or anything when I was
that-
in school. but
that
now
we
there's
have to be
armed police
addressing this
officers.
problem. It's just sad
Yep.
to me.
And I can have Rick give you the presentation he gave us. It's taken from the one that the Texas Library Association provided.
Okay.
And all the staff attended from all the branches.
Mhm. We usually have safety meetings at 8 in the morning when everything's closed, so they come in and then,
Do you have like a lockdown procedure or anything like that? Like, you grab, whoever's there and put them in an office and behind that door?
yes, we do. And he could probably, at the main library, the gate comes down, so that everybody upstairs is locked down.
So you have something in writing
Mhm.
already? You have a protocol in writing?
He does. He goes over, Rick.
Does he work there? at the library?
Yes.
Oh.
He's
The
our
Rick is the
safety.
photographer, the one that takes the.
He's a jack of all trades, but
Oh.
he used to be the safety officer at LCC. He was the one when he worked at the library in the south, so naturally.
But he's
Well,
just
that's
at
good.
your branch, I'm worried
Mhm.
about the other,
Then that would be
the other
something to
branch.
have a safety officer perhaps appointed to
Every
every
branch.
branch.
Well, actually, to the
Excuse me.
city safety committee, it's one person per department. Mhm.
I think that needs to be revised, in my opinion, because that's the way we have it on our campuses. I mean, there's 40, 50 some campuses, everybody has a safety officer. And that person is responsible for overlooking a lot of things. So I think that's very important to be an item to bring up as a concern even to the
Yeah,
city
for the
council
next-
members.
for the next time.
And let them know, because I think it'd be remiss if we didn't say at least we're trying to address the issue.
Well, and Moss has 10 staff members. The other ones have 2 or 3 staff members,
But
but
at least
somebody,
one that
I would need the manager, but, the branch manager to be.
Because once you have a lockdown, when you start to see and put obstacles in the way, and you start to say, oh, okay, well, what happens in this case? You start developing scenarios you didn't really think of until you put it into place. Yes.
Yes, I'm thinking of the downtown, the Bruni,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of,
Mhm.
vagrants. I mean,
You're correct.
I think that one should be addressed before, that's the one you suggested.
And the only great thing is that it's so close to the sheriff's department, though.
Right.
Looks like down the road, but you're right. But you're right.
If they feel like somebody, they call PD and they're
Yes.
usually there really quick, because they're patrolling the downtown area.
Yes.
And maybe have that and like a jack of all trades too, not like Rick, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud.
No, yeah,
Right.
you're correct, and it could be that maybe we would need even an analysis of each building and see what is the best case scenarios here in case, God
And he
forbid,
did
an active
address that,
shooter
you know,
be on
what works
campus.
here
on their-
will not
sorry.
work for you guys.
Right.
I mean, Bruni is one room, basically,
Mhm.
Oh,
one room.
Mhm. Scary.
it is just because of the location.
The
I
location.
was thinking Bruni because of the location and the
And
traffic and
they do get a lot of
transients.
homeless, but it's usually they're very well behaved. When they feel like somebody is not, they call PD.
Yes.
They know to do that.
I know it's like, you know, like you said, it's an unfortunate situation, but it should not be taken lightly.
No.
Right.
I mean, you know, as a committee, like we're saying that this is a concern, we would like to see what is in place and it should not be taken lightly. God forbid anything were to happen, at least we know, hey, we brought it up, we discussed it and we try to do something.
And we have been proactive. When we had that training, I said if we could, you know, give it to all the staff. And it was just coming up because of all the stuff that's
Yeah,
happening.
and that's kind of like along the lines of like looking at the checklist, because I look at safety as one of the issues that I'm concerned with. Even if it's a consistent with the janitorial staff, like making sure that they are highlighting areas that you just walk, you know, mop the floor, that they're doing their job, that everybody's checking all these things, because if not, you know, nothing
That
gets
could be
checked.
an item for next agenda item, right?
The safety protocols.
Okay.
But I like the checklist. I mean, I'm sure if I sat down, I'd have to, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great start though.
It is a great start to kind of see how it works for the next time and then we can analyze it again, right?
And if anything, again, it's mostly for the consistency of the library to library. Just to see, you know, when you walk in, you know, this is the city of Laredo, you know, we're consistent in what we're doing and are proactive in it, and you can see everything's in its order. And if I go to this library at Bruni, the same procedure for checking out or what have you, just put, is done over here, just to have that kind of consistency. Well, I think we should look at it. I don't know if anybody feels differently, and then
And
maybe
that's why
bring any
it's a
changes
draft.
next time.
Yes.
Right? Okay, it's a draft.
We'll bring it back and.
Pretty good, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, like a title to, you know, I know you put library checklist, but what is it, who's using this? What is it for? What, you know, like a little a title.
Yeah, I could
to
see that maybe, of
identify.
course, a date, this is when you
Of each
visited,
one.
of each one, and that way you, and then perhaps over time, you know, you collect these and say, okay, you know what, hours of operation posted, it wasn't posted last time and on this time, and it's like, and then review that with the branch manager and say, why isn't it posted? Look, I've been here 3 times, you know, something to that effect.
You know, or maybe-
No, and I did share it with them to give me feedback, and I'll share it with them so that they know that all these need to be addressed.
Yeah, and then also maybe the time completed, another column that may say date completed, if it's something that, okay, let's say this was not the directional signs or whatever, and that was something that you put, must be
Compliant,
addressed.
date compliant.
Yeah. Date it was addressed or already done or taken care of, so we know that issue is no longer an issue or a problem.
That's good.
But it is a very good start, so we can review that.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna overlook the branch visits and reports.
Like here at the Bruni, you need a new rope for flagpole. We'll be looking at pricing. We'll also need the PW or traffic staff to install it, right? So when is this going to be done?
The last time we looked into getting, the rope we can get, to getting it fixed, it was like $2,000. But that was for moss, yes. There's not very many people that specialize in flagpoles.
Wow.
So the one quote that we did get was for that, and Moss didn't have the money for it. So right now, I think they're not flying the library flag, but we're flying the Texas and.
And y'all gotten calls on it already?
No, not the library flag.
No? Oh, you want the US flag?
No, if ever the US, yeah.
Because I get calls.
We
If
could
for
just-
some reason
the
a new
flag is
custodian
looking
comes and puts
tattered,
the wrong color up on the,
Yeah.
and it's not, oh, here we go. come
No,
in.
we, there's,
Yeah,
oh, no,
they
that's who it is, that's
let us know
who
like
it
that.
is.
They let us know right away.
Let me give you a suggestion, because we just put up a flagpole at our house.
Mhm.
And go to, it's called Freight,
Harbor Freight?
Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight.
I like Harbor
And it's
Freight.
awesome.
Yeah.
We just got it, of course, cemented on the ground, but then if you just lift it to the different levels and you just twist it and it's there.
And we might have to,
And
because
you-
that's a very
It's not like
old
a,
flag.
so you can
That's a
adjust
very
it,
old
bring
flag.
the flags down every day. If I can do it,
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
No, but these are like ancient.
Well, that's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
And it was only like, they were on sale the other day, like for $89 or something. And they're real good flagpoles.
They have them here at this one?
Yes, so that's what we bought ours for our house. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's called Harbor
Freight.
Freight, right?
Harbor
Yes,
Freight,
yes.
Local, it's local.
Yes, and it's local, and they're very inexpensive, and you can get somebody to just put the cement and dig it in, and,
It's there, it might have to replace the whole pole.
yeah,
By
I would.
the Walker Building.
And so then you'll have a date for when that is completed. I'd like to-
I leave it here until it's completed. It was, like right now, we figured we don't have the money. We're halfway through the year or more. We only have like 3 or 4 months left, so there might not be enough money in building maintenance to do that. So we might have to leave it for the next fiscal year.
Like this, a defibrillator? Is that those wall unit ones?
And they
Okay.
do have one in the building, but last time I went, I thought it'd be nice to have one in the building side, the library side.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to look at that next.
And those are expensive.
Yes, they
Those are
are.
about $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah.
I tell you because I'm
So-
looking for one too.
Yeah.
So
We
they
just
are
got free batteries from a program, I think the health department applied, so we got replacement batteries for the ones we do have, for free.
So I guess I like the fact that if we can have like a completion date column, because here we're getting this information, but we're not getting to know when all of this is addressed.
And that would be probably this one to be changed.
Yeah.
Like all these items, like you said, you leave it on there until.
Until it gets
it's addressed.
completed, if it says done, it got completed the previous month,
Okay.
between the 2 meetings. So it's within a month that it got done.
Like to know, this got completed, you know what I mean?
Well, then that's done, but if you want dates, we can put dates.
Like, yeah, I would say probably turn this, this way and then have over here columns of when it was
Oh,
first
yeah.
put on and what the
this
date is
date's
completed. So that way we can see what's going on there. Ooh, AC, every time I see AC, I go, "Ugh, it's
No, and they've been in there and fixed it, and though the weather's very hot, it still feels warm. Like fasting is getting Freon. But then we're at the mercy of Public Works.
Yeah.
But they've gone in, I believe, to see all of them, and they've upped it, but it's still so hot outside with the door constantly being open, it's still gonna feel not as good.
Excuse my hunger pains.
There's the sound.
So a building maintenance worker for the main library was not approved?
Not
Yeah.
approved, I'm still waiting, hopefully that they'll allow me to hire. We did have positions frozen for this year already, and
Okay.
some of them might be frozen next year too.
Wow.
I have asked to get it approved because they do, they're not only just at the main library. They go to Bruni, ICB, and Paskin also, because I don't have regular maintenance people there, and they're smaller. So they visit those branches maybe twice a week.
So, here is, like, hand dryer not working, the hand dryers are not working.
At the mosque or at the.
So if you don't have hand dryers, do you have paper
We
towel?
put out like these paper towels, but we don't like doing it because kids just flush them all mess, and they put them all in the toilet.
Did they fix the hand dryer?
The moss, yes, right?
But is this for ICB?
ICB, no, ICB not yet,
Right.
but ICB has 2 in each bathroom, so at least one is working.
Okay, because it has it says hand dryers not working.
That's
One in the
ICD.
ladies and one in the men.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. At least one working each.
In each one, for now. But they have to be replaced, they do. I think we already had one of them replaced previously, so that's the new one that's working.
God, so many things going on.
And,
That's why it's so important, Maria, that you go to the library.
and they do, I mean, as soon as something, I see the email, said to Angie, because she's the one that calls the vendors, and they copy me. So, I mean, if it's, and we write it down.
All these little things just make a big difference to
Yeah,
the
they do.
public when you go in and they see the facility and what it's like and what's happening. It's really important to have it always.
And it's good that they see you out there.
No, yeah.
Maria, and some of the, I see some things that are repeated. It's in the different branches so that they could be easily added to your checklist.
Uh-huh.
Like the cookies, the ceilings,
Well, and that's a one-time thing. Once it gets fixed, I mean, I take it off of the heater.
heats, but there are things that should be checked off.
The ceiling.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's done.
I mean, I'm seeing
That's approved. I mean,
several
that's
things that
something
are repeated.
Might be included.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to eventually, hopefully, combine them, so it's one per branch.
Yeah, and just leave it there. It doesn't matter if it got addressed. Just go ahead and leave it. That's what you're saying, right?
Like the
Leave it as
cameras,
a
there's several
checklist.
things here that are
Yeah.
repeated. We'll
Some of
just
them.
Yeah.
leave the checklist.
Any other observations or comments for the reports from the visits, library branch visits and students?
Those
That
are
piano
just-
is still there?
The what?
The piano at the intersection?
Yes.
Cool.
We just, remember that? It's like, it's part of it, you don't even see it. No, the people that wanted it never came for it, and it's not working, so we are gonna haul it away. We just got, an email from Public Works saying we can borrow a truck and a trailer. And I just wanna set a date so that they can get everything from all the branches and make one trip.
Are you going to donate it, or what are you?
It's not working.
It's not working.
No, we've had a couple of people that are interested, and then
They said
they
no.
don't want it. They don't want
It's
it.
that bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's that bad.
It's very costly.
It's just that the main part is getting it out of there.
Oh.
So
Wow.
we borrowed a truck and trailer, hopefully, maybe in July, we'll set a date,
Get it out.
because everybody has, the ICB also has a,
Donate it to La Pulga, they'll come and pick it up. Take it over there.
They will.
They will, they donate it to them.
well, I've already gotten permission to just dispose of it, because I need to do a form for
Let them pick it up.
disposition form. They also have a refrigerator that has been there just not working, that we also need to haul out.
Okay. Okay. All right, then, monthly statistics.
That's also included in your packet. No, it's just for your information.
Anybody have any questions or observations on it? Okay. Then we're on to item, if there aren't any, then we will move to item number 8. Approved and unapproved library advisory committee member absences, but everybody's here, correct? No?
If I may remind you, the last meeting you did table the voting for Mr. Selvando, so if we could do that.
Okay.
And he had sent an email saying
Okay.
he had a family emergency, so.
Do I have a motion to excuse Mr. Ovaldo's absence from last, what day was it?
Yes.
May 23rd.
For May 23rd?
And I had made that motion because we didn't know what happened.
Mhm.
He was
I
going to
second.
go. So
Okay.
So Ms.
All
Diana,
those-
you make
I
that?
made the motion to accept the
To-
unexcused absence.
The excused.
Excuse me.
Excused absence, yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry.
Mrs. Cavazos White,
Yes.
seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any items for next meeting would be like the safety protocol, that's one area, correct?
Safety protocol, Rick will give you the presentation on an active shooter that he gave us. Maybe an item for approval of writing a letter maybe to Councilman Rodriguez.
What to find out what's the status on his position or his recommendation.
Status, but if you can take that action about,
Can you go and talk to the city secretary
We did,
and find
we
out
do.
from him?
we do.
Can he come and address us or
Mhm.
what? I don't know.
No, we call and say, no, that's not our role to contact the councilman directly. That's why we have the Friday packet. And on the Friday packet, I put that he still has a vacancy. In the semi-annual report, it addresses it.
There's gotta be some protocol of somebody finding out.
Well, we've taken the procedure of having Ms. Alanis call, and she was the chair.
Well, I can call him, just ask him.
Maybe he'll
Maybe.
respond different
Maybe.
to you.
To you.
Wow.
But I'll
No
put it
promises,
in.
but we'll
I'll put it
see.
in
I can ask
as
the mayor also, I mean, you know.
Right.
I can
think
put it
you
as
should.
a status of and not an action item.
Yeah,
That
But you might
I'll call
recommend-
the
Probably better
mayor.
than- he's
Yeah,
the
I'll
mayor.
call the mayor and see what he has to say.
Okay.
Okay.
And then an update on the equipment purchasing for the recording of the meetings.
And of the,
PSAs.
PSAs.
Talk to Jerry Leal and see what he recommends,
Mhm.
because they're the ones that make it, right? That is the department that is responsible.
For filling it.
So, right.
Let's see, also, I don't know if you want to address appointing a bylaw committee to look at the bylaws. Right off the bat, looking at it, at least the attendance requirement is gonna have to change.
Well, we have to go by the ordinance, so.
Yes, but you know, you do have bylaws, we can change it to, we can do that.
the bylaws of this committee, you mean,
Mhm.
of the library advisory?
Library advisory. Not all committees have bylaws, but this committee does.
So are you saying that we don't have to follow the,
The bylaw?
Well, no,
The-
just the ordinance
the
takes
ordinance?
precedence, no, the ordinance takes precedence over the
just to
bylaw.
Then why have
So
bylaws?
why-
Let's just follow the ordinance.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
so
right.
it doesn't
right.
make,
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Right.
sense. Why are we
Just for
gonna,
them to be,
Yeah.
why are we
The
gonna
same as the city.
rewrite the bylaws if we have an
if
ordinance?
it has precedence
Right.
over.
Mhm.
I mean, we
Let's
can
follow
look at it
ordinance.
and see what
Yeah.
what is, if
Let's
there's
just-
anything in particular we
Yeah.
need to keep, but if there is an ordinance that tells us what we do as a
Your
committee.
duties, yes, and
That's
everything.
it.
I would rather look at for next meeting and then you
Let's
can
look
show
at
them
Look
and
at,
compare.
bring copies of the bylaws
Correct.
and
Right.
I can also bring you a copy of where they created the committee. So you can see where it says your duties and.
The rules.
Okay, yeah, that'd be
And
great.
look at this as well and see where it falls into place.
And the next meeting is scheduled for the 25th. It's still the summer. I don't know if you want to keep it at noon.
It's July 20.
I don't think I'd be able to make me be working by then.
Oh,
I'd be back to be plugged in. Actually, but the 16th already,
And we have to have a meeting every month? We
According
have
to the-
according to the new.
The new ordinance.
Well, it says, shall meet, what did I see the word, if possible, or does it say
That's
we
to
are
the city hall.
required? We are required, okay. So what's July the what?
25th, it'll be.
Wednesday.
And will it be here or TBA, to be announced?
To be announced, we
To be
can,
announced.
hopefully, we're gonna try. The exact wording is unless otherwise, meet once a month unless authorized by city manager.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you all want, and this is just a suggestion, because we do combine November and December, and then we skip a couple of meetings during the summer because of schedules. One being the last one, the one in August because of graduations and stuff.
No, the
No,
beginning.
the beginning of school, but now it's gonna start early. The committee could
I
possibly
would
maybe
say give
write
us a break in
little-
July because it's
I would too.
vacation and, you know.
And that's exactly why we still met what was required, but now.
So how do we communicate that to the city
A letter
secretary?
maybe from the committee
Okay.
asking for,
No.
You know,
it's the week of the 30th.
permission to combine the,
July and August meeting or.
and the November,
In
December.
December. November, December, yes, because who's
But we-
here at
but
the
that's
end of
already,
December?
we've done it all the time.
We've done it, but now we need to maybe get special
Because of
permission.
the
Yeah, I
ordinance.
would,
Okay.
the
We'll do
July,
that
let's
For
do it.
July,
Yeah,
August,
July.
and November, December,
November,
correct?
December, yes.
Vacation.
November, December.
We haven't
Who's here?
known.
I'm never here at the end of December. I'm here with my kids.
And then we always have it at the beginning of December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
that
I think
works.
that's a good idea.
Yes,
So you'll let us know if
yes.
he approves it. Okay.
So I draft that?
You-
Yes? And then I
Or I
email
can-
you,
You
or?
have Jen right here?
No,
Yeah.
part of it's drafted and then you just sign it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
this
they
is
can
a
draft it
May.
if they
Okay.
know what to write.
25th May.
And then you just sign it.
Okey-doke.
But you're all in agreement to do that, so
Yeah,
we can do it
right.
before the July meeting and
Yes.
hopefully get.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't address it on the, before. Do I have to go back to this item on the letter?
Yeah, well, yes, you need to approve it with the corrections and then we'll get you to sign it. And we'll change your title.
Because, yeah, well, no, one more correction be Roberto.
Robert.
Robert sounds like a.
Roberto.
Yeah, Roberto. Just want to make sure.
I mean, your initial.
G, actually, yes, G.
Can't,
G
will you
of
be
these.
announcing the new?
That was my
secretary
byline all of the
positions
times.
In here?
It will be in the minutes, you've already voted on
Okay,
those.
but not in this letter, not in this letter.
Yes, we can do that too.
Yeah, to include the new chairperson.
New election.
Okay,
new
yes.
election.
Yes.
Yeah, the new officers. Somebody's having fun out there.
Oh, it's always hot when during the day.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, is that it? Anything for next meeting? Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I so moved.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All those in favor?
I
Aye. All right, we're good.
take her now.
All right.
That would be a job.
Good job, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, everybody.